back at Insurtech Hartford, or the Hartford Insurtech Symposium, and who am I speaking with?
Hi, my name is Shawn I'm an emerging technology architect
At?
Sunlight Solutions.
Okay, talk to me about Sunlight Solutions.
Yeah, so Sunlight is the most flexible, modern end-to-end solution in the market today. We tailored an application framework that could be applied to any of the business products in the market. Currently, our customers are only on the P&C side, but we have a couple of our co-founders that came from Group Life and Life.
Yep.
And so we kind of architected it for it to be applied anywhere. And at some point, we will move into the Group Life side.
Yeah. So talk about complexity in current legacy systems. We hear rumors. It's you have these, sometimes 200-year-old companies that have these complex systems. How is it that you're able to go in and kind of, let's call it, clean it up?
Right. So, we flipped the model on its head. That's the issue. People, it's taking them way too long in order for them to implement. It's $6 to $8 million. Think about, you have to come to your boss and say, I'm going to implement a new product. We see the business opportunity, but we can't implement because it's going to cost us that much. So we come in and say, we're going to implement this for a lot less in half the time or in a portion of the time, right?
So how do you do something like that?
So our system, like I said, is a flexible system. We can apply it to any product, and it's end-to-end. So a holistic view of how the insurance product should work, so policy, billing, claims. You can do that within our system, and we tailor it towards the business user. So in the end, the insurers, business users, will be making the changes, and it'll get smarter and faster as the application rolls through.
Yeah. So is this server-based or cloud-based?
We're 100% natively built for the cloud.
So let's talk about the cloud. Security issues.
Right.
I think that's probably one of the reasons why a lot of insurers have been tentative to kind of move over there. What's the current state of the cloud, and why is it so advantageous to do it cloud-based versus server-based?
I'm a bit surprised that so many people are still kind of fighting that security thought. So we work with Azure. We're partnered with Azure.
Yeah.
They just won a $10 billion contract with the Pentagon. So think about this, and you can go to their page and they have a list of certifications, SOCs, everything, all applied. It's really easy for you. You have to make sure your application is adhering also. You can't just blindly throw your application out there. And so that's why it's important that you're a recently new, and we're a Microsoft.NET technology, and it has to just be correct for the cloud.
Yeah, I think part of the calcification of the problem is that because there once was a problem, there will always be a problem until it can be proved definitively that there isn't a problem.
Right, and everybody's worried it's going to be hacked at some point, but to think about the cloud being hacked, they'll maybe have access to a lot of things, but the same thing is applied to a person on their own servers.
Yeah, so the servers can be hacked too.
Right.
So there's from a security standpoint, there's no advantage to saying, well, we'll just put it on our own servers because they'll be safer.
And I'm seeing with Group Life now, then they're saying that they have to host it on their own because of how the industry was.
Yeah.
And I think that's definitely going to change.
Yeah. Can you talk about the Microsoft relationship? Because until recently, when you thought about the cloud, you didn't necessarily think of Microsoft. Right. You thought of that other company.
And actually, we built ours to be cloud agnostic.
Okay.
But as we moved through, we kind of trained ourselves a little bit more with Azure, and we're partnered. As I said, we're partnered with them, and we actually have our application on the Microsoft App Marketplace, and it's been a great way for us to kind of verify how we should be deployed within the cloud. And they actually sit down with you and verify.
Okay.
You're following the security protocols that they need, because they're kind of liable at that point. Your app is in their marketplace. So that's nice.
From the standpoint of actual use cases, I know you have one that we discussed before we started rocking and rolling. Can you talk about that particular use case and that customer?
Yeah, sure. So Church Mutual was our first customer, and they're a perfect way to look at this. So they implemented all their surplus lines. So that's 4 products. That's double digits in interfaces, hundreds of forms, thousands of rules and rates configured. And they did this in less than 6 months. And so it was like a 6 months masterpiece.
All 4 products?
All 4 products, 50 states, all the entire system. They took it and actually became completely autonomous. So we worked hand in hand for 6 months. I mean, that's a pretty aggressive time to do.
Yeah.
And so we worked hand in hand, and they've been the least maintenance-driven customer. I mean, I don't barely have to interact with them at all anymore.
Yeah.
It's been quite amazing.
Okay, that's. I was expecting one product. 4 products is an amazing achievement to kind of roll into that. Is how could you explain like your engagements with? It can be church mutual if you want to, but just for someone that's watching that might be interested in something like this, what does an engagement look like? Because I think maybe part of the hesitancy of someone wanting to do this sort of solution is that, we're going to have these tech team come in and they're going to kind of flip us upside down. Right. Talk about what an engagement looks like.
So I think the important thing is that the application was built for the insurance business user. So the underwriter can write the product, the billing manager can tailor things for commissions, the claims adjuster can add the fields for whatever aspect they want. And so I don't think there's really a reason that they can't come in and have to pick up a system.
Yeah.
That area, it's intuitive and it becomes smarter as it goes.
Yeah.
So we have click tracking. Essentially, we're running algorithms that is going to tell us, these users are not doing the process as we would have expected. And so it's essentially everything's rolling and becoming smarter, and then we can apply it and update the versions, and it's costing each of our customers less.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Can you tell me about that pen?
Yeah. So I first got this pen, I think, when we first started, and I went to a bunch of the conferences, and one of our BAs, she brought it, and I really liked it, so I just snagged it, and I've been wearing it to every conference I've been going to.
So my eye is on that pen, therefore, somehow, some way, I need to get one of those as part of my collection. Where are you based out of?
I'm in New York, actually. I've been bouncing around for a while. I was in Paris for a little bit, and now I'm back in New York.
Sunlight itself, is that a U.S.-based company?
We are U.S.-based. Everybody working...
But you're global.
Right. Yeah, we are a global company. And that's one of the most important things, is that we started and we're serving Tier 1 customers on 2 continents. And when we architected it, we wanted the application to be flexible enough to be applied anywhere in the world. So we did multilingual, multi-currency, and multi-regulatory. As we touched back, that the cloud is helping us, we are GDPR compliant. And so we're moving.
Yeah, so that's a Herculean task because you have to then handle all of the European regulations and then all of the different state regulations.
Yeah, it was good to start in the state regulations, I think.
Because you get to Europe and it's easy.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah. How do you see the immediate future, next 1 to 2 years? What's Sunlight have in store?
Yeah, so I think we've really placed ourselves in a good point in the insurance industry, and we represent it as a whole. What we do best is kind of our interfaces between and communicating from the technology to the insurance business user. And so we're going to kind of enhance that and look for kind of a UI-driven way to our API. We have seamless APIs. I mean, the business users can go in and change our APIs, but in the end, we want to make it facilitate like a whole brand view of how this is applied. Because there's so many great users out there, great third-party softwares that we need to implement into our systems.
And we need a lot of help, and we are at the Hartford Insurtech Symposium. So when you come to an event like this, what are you looking for? What are you hoping to learn?
So I come to Hartford quite often, but the Hartford Insurtech Hartford, they put together great content. I mean, Stacy and their team are really rolling on it.
Yes.
As I said, I'm coming up as much as I can, and I think they're harboring a great place to be for insurance. I mean, 30,000. How many insurance professionals here? It's 30,000.
A lot. I mean, Hartford used to be considered the insurance capital of the world at one point.
And I think they're adjusting.
So there's still that ecosystem.
Right, and they're adjusting. A lot of startups are coming here.
Yeah.
And so they're really going to surprise the market, I think.
Yeah. So enjoy the rest of the conference.
Right.
Thank you so much for taking a few minutes coming over.